Hello mixtresses and mixters, this is mixtressrae and you're watching Mixtress Video. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a pick a pile reading, and I thought we would kind of do it in real time, so I'm going to kind of set everything up as we go here. And I kind of liked the weird angle that I did on the last video, so I'm sort of recreating it here today. I hope this doesn't look super terrible and off-putting. Okay, I've been using Earthbound Oracle for like everything lately, so I'm going to take that out right now. I think we need a spell candle for sure. I'm going to need to burn the bottom of it a little bit to get it to stick in this thing. Okay, sorry for the creakiness of my chair. I just changed my setup, like you guys can't see it, but maybe I could I can move this. You see up here, I mean, you guys don't know, but this looks completely different than it did before. Okay, where did I have this? Like this, kind of. I don't hate this, but I also think this might be a weird setup because you definitely can't see all of the table, but you can see most of the table. I don't know. I just want to do something different. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it, and it's going to be great. Yes. So that way it's not just like a totally symmetrical top-down shot. It's a little bit more like, I don't know, it feels a little bit more personal, this particular setup. To me, feels a little bit more personal. I don't know if you guys feel the same. Okay, I'm getting out some Oracle decks. I haven't even created my piles yet. I need to decide what decks I'm using. Hold on, you guys don't have to watch me struggle. Okay. So the way that these piles are going to work today, I'm picking 3 decks that I consider to be sort of warmer weather / summer decks. So this will be I mean, obviously you can see the title, but this will be sort of the pick a pile summer solstice / we just had a full moon / we're getting through eclipse season. I don't know, whatever, all the things. So that's what we're going for today. So you can pick based on which deck you would like to see your cards from for the piles. So we have Desert Illuminations, Dame Darcy's Mermaid Tarot, and the Children of Letha Tarot. Okay, let's light the candle and then we will start the specific piles. I'm going to spray some Florida water around. And let's light the candle. So for the candle, take a couple deep breaths. Let's do it together. And decide what kind of intentions you want. I'm going to set the general intention of bringing clarity for you guys for your summer, clarity and peacefulness and health and happiness and calm for all of us for the summer. Okay, let's start with pile 1, which is going to be the Desert Illuminations pile. Okay, so we're just kind of wanting, what are the messages for pile 1 for the summer? And I have like no real like spread in mind for this, just kind of, we're gonna go for it. Just gonna go for it. We're just gonna pick some cards. There we go, 6 of Cups. What do we got here? I kind of want at least 8 cards. I'm going to kind of copy off of Stormy Atlantis. I saw one of her pick-a-pile readings recently, and she had, I really like the way she did it. She did 2 rows of 4 cards, and like the cards on the bottom of the top row were kind of clarifying the card that was on the top row, and I liked it. Okay, you want to be here too. Okay, fine. Okay. So we'll start with that. I can kind of, I'm gonna compose the shot so it's like, okay, so this is how I know I can't put anything over that area or else you won't be able to see it. Okay. All right. So let's just start with tarot. So we've got the 6 of Cups here. Got the 10 of Cups. The World, the 5 of Cups, and the Magician. So lots of major and emotional energy here. We've got the Devil clarifying the World. We've got the 9 of Pentacles clarifying the 5 of Cups. We've got the 9 of Wands clarifying the Magician, and the Ace of Cups. So we only have 9 cards here. And out of 9 cards, we have 2 9s, 3 major arcana, no court cards, and 4 of these cards are cups. So I can already say, like, this is going to be an emotional summer for anyone that picked pile 1. There's going to be a lot to deal with. It's funny because the clouds are gathering overhead right now, and like we might even get some thunderstorm sounds. So let's see. What do we think about the World being clarified by the Devil here? So you're going to be finishing out a pretty big cycle that you've been going through this summer. And it's going to be related to bad habits, you know, like whatever that is for you. Like for me personally, I kind of have a shopping problem. That's kind of my devil problem. I spend way too much money. I charge credit cards, and I'm not a person that has a lot of disposable income, so I really can't do that, but I continue doing it anyway. So this pile might even be for me. So that's kind of what we're dealing with there. And sort of this intense sadness and grief of the 5 of Cups in general. It's kind of subverted in this deck because it's like Zorro. Like, hello, are you gonna focus? Are you gonna focus? It's like Zorro, you know? He doesn't look incredibly sad to me, right? So already that sort of like intense grief and sadness, I feel like you're gonna feel it coming on, and you know what that feels like. That sort of like depression situation. You're gonna feel it start to like rear its ugly head at some point during the summer. But you're in a secure place right now. You know, like you're going to be able to subvert that moment once it starts coming. You're going to be able to take a few deep breaths and be like, you know what? I'm okay because I'm safe. I like my home right now. Or for some of you, since this pile is for a lot of different people, this reading is for a lot of different people. For those of you that feel that sort of depression creeping in and you don't feel like you're in a good place right now as far as like where you live, this could be this for you is a moment where you can head off that intense grief and depression if you realize that part of the thing that's causing it for you is where you live. So you need to get to a secure place, maybe move. Maybe there'll be a move this summer for you because you need to get to that sort of sanctuary space. The Magician being clarified by the 9 of Wands. This is another just like whatever like witchiness or craft that you are learning right now, or if you're going to school, whatever that thing is where you're, as I say, the Magician is really good at manipulating objects in the physical universe. That's his tagline for me. And so whatever that is for you personally, like working with your hands, whether you're a witch or you're learning, you're apprenticing a craft of some kind, whatever it is that you're learning to do, whatever craft that you are honing this summer, you're gonna get really far with it. You're gonna be at a place where like you can just feel like almost in your grasp whatever it is your final goal is. You're gonna be able to feel it. You know, this feels like a very positive trajectory, and it's connected to this little chunk over here. Like, what if you don't know personally, if you're thinking to yourself, God, I don't know what my goal is. I don't know what it is that I want to do with my life, or whatever. It's this little chunk of cards right here is urging you to follow what really lights you up. And it may even be a collaboration with other people with this 10 of Cups. It may be, it's really just like follow. I mean, for some of you, this could actually just be reconnecting with someone from your childhood. Like maybe you're going to start a new relationship and kind of start a family and a partnership with somebody that you met in school as a child that you haven't seen in a long time. But for others of you, this is more like following your passion. Like if you're honing your craft, and if you don't know what that craft is yet necessarily, this is urging you that the way to follow that path is to follow something that lit you up as a child, that is presenting itself to you anew now. And that's going to result in sort of this super harmonious 10 of Cups scenario for you. This is almost like, I feel like this is the card that just kind of showed up as a, hey, you know, if you keep going for it, if you keep following your dreams, if you keep following your bliss in general, even if you don't know what that is, as long as you're following what really makes you happy and lights you up, what's filling up your cup, if you follow what's filling up your cup, and if you don't know which way to go towards something from your childhood. This, obviously there could be people watching that had a really terrible childhood. So I'm not trying to remind you of a shitty time. It's more about like, at times when you were younger and you weren't thinking too much about what you should be doing in life. That's what the 6 of Cups is to me a lot of the time. Like, what at your purest form, before you worried too much about what other people thought, what was your bliss? That's the direction to go in that's going to lead you to this super harmonious 10 of Cups. It's like pouring outside now, guys. So that's like really cleansing, like especially with all of these cups. This coming during your reading tells me that this is like going to be a super cleansing time for you guys this summer. So I'm going to pull, this is from the Oneromancy Oracle. So we got other worlds. You're going to be capable of visiting other worlds, capable of taking others to other worlds, sort of as like a, I hope this makes sense, but like if part of the thing that you are pursuing is like writing, you're going to be able to like write the fantasy novel of your dreams. You're going to be able to create these other worlds. And I mean, this is all like, if you accept, like when you see that you are at the end of this sort of whatever your personal self-sabotage cycle is, whenever you see that you're sort of nearing the end of it, as long as all of these cards are like, I'm almost there, I'm almost there. Nines are all about being almost there. The world is the end of a cycle. And then we have, like, if we're looking at this as a linear trajectory, then like as soon as you end this cycle, there's going to be a little bit of a depression after you end this cycle, even though this particular cycle needs to end. There's going to be a little bit of a depression there, but as long as you feel secure in your home environment, as long as you can make that happen for yourself, and for some of you, that's going to be the biggest part of your summer. If you're not already in a space, if you're not already living somewhere where you feel very comfortable and happy, and you need to change that, that's going to take the majority of your energy over the summer to be able to relocate and to get where you need to get. And this could also be a job. It's a place where you spend a lot of time. So either home or job might need to change if you don't already feel in alignment with those things. And that might be the biggest part of your summer. These other parts might not even be coming up for you until like the end of August. If you need to get this right, this is the first hurdle to head off that sort of like darkness, because the darkness that comes here after you've traversed this self-sabotage moment, the darkness that comes here is going to be easy to avert. I hate to say easy to avert, because for some of you this is going to be hard, because this is going to be an easy little depression to avert if you're already pretty happy and secure in your home and work life. So it's going to be really easy to subvert for those of you that are here already, that are already good with that. This is just going to be a little moment where you're going to start to get depressed, because you're going to feel a little deprived after you are, because once you get to the end of this self-sabotage cycle and you're like, okay, like for me personally, I really need to stop buying tarot decks. And I especially needs to stop forever buying tarot decks that cost more than like $40, because I literally can't afford it, and I just need to be real with myself about that. And if I can do that, I am going to feel deprived. I really am. But if I can get through that, and I am in a good place right now as far as my job and my home life is concerned. So if your situation is kind of following mine, this little moment of feeling deprived, it's not going to last long. As long as you have this, that's all you really need. As long as you're comfortable where you live. I mean, ideally, I'd like to have a slightly different house, but I like it here. It's perfectly fine for now. So this sort of, hopefully you're more in my situation, where like what you need to get through this little blip of a moment of depression can be easily averted. I want to get a little bit more clarity on that. Dropping things on the floor. A little bit more clarity on the Five of Cups. We got the Six of Wands. This is just another, for me, this is just another little reassurance that like we're going to be victorious over the things that we need to be victorious over. Pile one, which I really do think this is my pile. We're going to make it. We're doing okay. We're learning to be creative again. I'm just going to go ahead and like, I hope this is okay that I'm getting personal with you guys, but I just feel like this is my pile, so I'm relating it to myself. So hopefully some of it also relates to you. For me personally, I'm trying to figure out how to make oracle decks. I don't know if I will be at a point where I want to sell oracle decks anytime soon, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm working on it. And I'm forcing myself to work on it in smaller increments, because I'm the type of person that thinks I need to get a creative project done like all at once. And I'm forcing myself to slow down and work on it until I get frustrated and then take a little break and then come back to it when I'm ready, you know, that kind of thing. And that is helping me get to this point where I can feel like I'm almost here, I'm almost there, I can see the finish line, or I can see what the finish line might look like if I try this process again, you know, that kind of thing. I'm doing little things. I'm checking off little goals, and I'm getting a little closer all the time. And the way that I have to do it is I have to follow the bliss that existed for me as a teenager. Just personally, that's how I have to do it. And hopefully that will eventually lead to this 10 of Cups harmony moment. And this is just a reassurance that, like, we'll get there. We're going to be okay. We're going to get the recognition that we want as long as we just keep going and keep doing what we love to do. This is also like, this is an outside validation card, but of, you know, getting validation from outside of ourselves. This is that. This is just bothering me. I don't know why I moved those over. I'm going to put this up here. This is an outside validation card, but I can tell you right now, if we don't follow what actually makes us happy, personally, if we try to follow what we think other people want from us, we're not gonna get to this. We're not gonna get here. We're not gonna get there unless we follow our own bliss. Okay, I was intending to pick like a whole bunch of cards, and then I just feel like we got there without needing all the other cards. Let's pull an animal spirit card. For pile 1. Yep. Cricket. Luck and calm. So we're going to be in a pretty stable place. I really feel like there's a lot of stability here in this pile. And that, like, luck is coming to us. I mean, Ace of Cups is really kind of a luck card too. We're going to be stable. We're going to be okay. We're going to have a lot of calm as long as we can, like, get over our personal self-sabotage and, you know, make sure we subvert this sort of, like, this hit of depression and deprivation that we're going to get after we've cut ourselves off from whatever this thing is. Like, you know, obviously the devil can sometimes be like literally some really bad addiction, like drugs, like abuse of drugs, and like, you know, drinking or something. You know, it could be, like I said, for some of you, this is going to be the biggest hurdle of your summer, being able to get to this sort of stable place in your home and work life. But for others of you, this is going to be the biggest hurdle. If there's something really big that is, if there's this really big cycle that you have been in for a while that has been pulling you under, this is going to be the thing. Focus on this. Whichever one of these hurdles looks the biggest to you, whether it's going to be one of these two, I think, for most of you. Or it could even be this. Like, for those of you that this Ace of Cups is actually starting a new relationship, this could be the biggest moment of your summer, you know? But you know which one of those paths feels the best, the most right for you personally. Is there really a self-sabotaging habit that you need to work on this summer? Do you need to work on where you live or where you work, making that part of your life better this summer? Or are you working on relationships? Whichever trajectory that is, focus on that part of it the most, you know? Yeah, I think that's it. Like, I was gonna pull more, but this feels good. Let's do an Amenti Oracle at least. So this is sort of our, I say our because, again, I really think this pile is also for me. Our, like, moral compass for the summer from the 42 Principles of Ma'at. I benefit with gratitude. So this is, to me, this reminds me right this very second that I have some thank you cards to write, because I've been the recipient of some incredible generosity, mainly from my patrons lately. I had a patron buy me something from my Amazon wish list. I had another patron send me she has sent me a tarot deck. I haven't received it yet, but she just sent it a few days ago. Also a patron has sent me like a box of goodies 2 different times of just like all kinds of cool stuff like makeup. And anyway, I have been the recipient of some really awesome generosity lately. And that is something that's going to help me personally with my shopping addiction. If every once in a while I get some random gift from one of you lovely humans, it will help me keep on track of not buying myself too many things, you know? Arcana. So Arcana means secret. So there's also going to be sort of a revelation this summer, I think, as well. So there's going to be a lot of potential for happiness this summer. And for those of y'all that, like, I just got stuck on a personal story. Sorry, let's make it about you again. I benefit with gratitude, I really think is just about, like, kind of, this is going to sound kind of cliche, but that sort of like taking stock of what you have, who helped you get it, and just counting your blessings, that kind of thing. It's about, you know, that sort of like that practice that's kind of the gratitude practice of like, if you're a journaling type person, if you sit down at the end of the day and you think about something that you were grateful for in that day, someone that you were grateful for, something that happened that you're grateful for, like whatever it is, that sort of practice helps you focus on the positive. That is going to be something that is important while you are either starting a new relationship, finding a new place to live or a new job, giving up some bad habits. It just suddenly occurred to me that there's probably someone listening that all 3 of those things will happen to you this summer, and it will be like the biggest summer of your life, and it will be so positive and beautiful. But there are going to be those dark moments, because with that kind of change and turmoil, it can have some moments where you're going to have to intentionally look towards the positive. Remind yourself that you've been pretty lucky. At least there are things that have been lucky within the madness, you know? And there are going to be things that you can thank people for. And sometimes you're not going to feel like you deserve all of the wonderful things that are coming your way. But thanking those people and really letting them know that they appreciate you, whoever is making your life easier during this summer, if you let them know what they mean to you and what their kindness has meant to you, it will help you move through it. Those moments of like where you're gonna think, I don't deserve this, that like the devil's gonna be talking in your ear and telling you don't deserve these beautiful things that are coming your way. You can, through thanking those people for their beautiful kindness, does that make sense? Like, it'll help you move through it and start to accept it. There's going to be a lot of acceptance happening this summer. Acceptance of self. Just sort of like letting yourself bask in the moments where others, you know, that sort of feeling where like if someone's giving you a compliment, like, I don't know, for me personally anyway, my first thought is like, that can't be true. That can't be true. Like, no, they just don't understand me. They just don't know. They just don't know how awful I am, or they just don't know about whatever. You know, if they knew everything about me, they would not think this nice thing that they're saying about me right now. I think we're going to start to love ourselves a little bit more this summer. I'm getting that feeling. I'm getting this sort of the Ten of Cups and Ace of Cups moment could even just be, like, as cheesy as this sounds, it could even be self-love, learning to love ourselves. Let's get a final message. Let's get it from Everyday Witch Oracle. Ooh. Just as kind of a final message of something practical we can do to kind of like help get all of the wonderful things that are coming our way. Help get on the path of all those beautiful things. Rebirth and reinvention. Man, I've been thinking about the beach a lot lately, you guys. I haven't been in years. I need to make it happen somehow. But this is just sort of like, emerging from the waves. So, take a bath, for sure. Take a nice spiritual cleansing bath at some point during this summer. And, especially if you can kind of make a ritual out of it. If you can kind of the things that you need to wash away, that you need to no longer be a part of your life, what can you do to wash those things away symbolically? That's what spell work is about, is, you sit down and go, okay, what is it that I want to accomplish? Okay, how can I symbolically represent what I want to accomplish in the spell work? And so if you're doing like a cleansing spell where you want to get something out of your life that is hurting you, how can you represent that in a spell way, in a cleansing way? This could even be like harnessing the cycle of the moon and the sun and the waning days. Now that we're past the solstice, I'm so happy the days are going to start to get shorter again, because I'm a nighttime girl. But how can you honor the cycles and send those things out that no longer need to be there? Whether that's a bad relationship for you, whether that's a bad home or work situation that needs to be fixed, whatever it is. Okay, I think we did it. Let's move on to pile 2. Okay, pile 2, if you chose the Dame Darcy's Mermaid Tarot, we're going to get into it. And I'm just sort of like wanting to know some clarity on what's going on with pile 2 this summer. What's going on with my mermaids? What's going on with you lovely mermaids this summer? What do we need to know? And I'm kind of, I'm totally copying off of Stormy Atlantis. I watched one of her pick-a-pile readings recently, and she typically does like 2 rows of 4, and the bottom row of each clarifies the top. I really like that. I'm trying it out. See how it goes. But I want to give her credit for that. This one goes here. Okay, this one goes here. You see those mostly. This deck is bigger than the last one, so. Let me know what you think about this weirdo angle. I like it because I can easily check the viewfinder to see what you guys can see, but I don't have the tripod like right here in between my arms, so it's easier for me to like shuffle. Okay. This one's gonna kind of clear up. These right here are gonna need the most clarity, I think, is what I'm guessing. Okay. So we got Hierophant, 8 of Swords, the Star, 6 of Wands. We got 6 of Wands in the last reading too. Ace of Swords, 4 of Wands, Three of Swords. Ace of Cups. We had Ace of Cups in the last one too. And Two of Wands. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 Wands, 1, 2, 3 Swords, 2 Majors, and a Cup. So I feel like there's gonna be, you're ambitious right now, pile 2, my mermaids. I hope you're okay with me calling you my mermaids. You're kind of ambitious right now. Is that better? Yeah, I think you can see that a little bit better. Okay. So I feel like there's definitely some spiritual healing going on. I mean, like, okay, I have to point out this sort of like bottom row trajectory here. I have to point out the most obvious interpretation of this. For some of you watching, you are literally going to get engaged, then break up, and then start another relationship all in the same summer. Or sometimes the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is sort of a stable event that is, you know, it could be a wedding, a funeral, a divorce. It could be, and it has something to do with spirituality though. Okay, you know what? I almost want to, my eyes keep going back to this Hierophant, so I almost want to say, and that being clarified by this Ace of Swords and the Four of Wands, I feel like this is almost, and obviously this pile is for several different people, so this might not resonate with you. It might be a totally different situation. But for some of you, I think for most of you watching that pick this pile, this summer is going to be about kind of finding a spiritual path, and it's kind of new. It's a new way of thinking for you. And I almost think that for those of you that are into like deity, I don't know, do you say worship? Deity worship or deity workings in your spirituality practice? I feel like you're going to maybe dedicate yourself or a certain aspect of your spiritual practice you're going to be dedicating to a deity, maybe, or there's going to be like some kind of official ceremony that is attached to your new spirituality. Like maybe you're joining a coven, maybe maybe you are going back to some kind of Christian church where you might choose to get baptized. There's going to be some sort of, or there's going to be an opportunity for that. Like whatever your new way of thinking, new level of spirituality. And this could also just be kind of a collective message since we are in a Hierophant year right now. 2021 is a Hierophant year. So sort of this new way of thinking, this new spirituality is going to lead us to a moment where we can kind of make it official. And that's going to be like this first little chunk. I feel like this is kind of separate from the rest of this. I'm going to even like move it over because over here we have other stuff going on. Like once we get through this moment, this is going to be really kind of a beautiful overall message. I feel like this is the overall message of the whole summer. And then this is just the other shit we got to deal with over here. I mean, obviously, since this is for different people, there'll be different parts of this that are the most important. Like, I mean, here you really, if you're just looking at these 4 cards here, there's this moment of like, you feel trapped, so you break up with a bitch. Then you start to heal from the breakup, you start a new relationship. That is kind of like the easiest way to interpret those cards, but that's obviously not going to be the case for everyone watching. For those of you that is the case for, great. You can ignore the other shit that I'm about to say. But for those of you that, like, that's not what's going to happen. Like, you're not about to end a relationship. You know you're not. but you have kind of trapped yourself in a certain way of thinking. Whatever that way of thinking is that you know you've trapped yourself in, I mean, this is just a very simple message. Let it go. There's something that you can cut out of your life that will stop making you feel this sense of just being trapped inside your mind, being trapped within your thought process. This could even just be going to therapy, because someone else, like a different perspective of whatever your personal self-sabotaging thoughts are, once you can, if you don't know exactly what those are at the moment, someone else, like a good friend or a therapist or whatever, could help you cut that out. And if you happen to be a person that this situation over here is kind of about dedicating yourself to Kali's going to be the one that can help you cut out this negative thinking. And you're going to get through this. This is just sort of like a situation that needs to be dealt with, and then you move on to all this beautifulness over here. Like this sort of like dedicating yourself to a new spiritual practice and a new way of thinking is going to help you break out of these patterns and give you the strength to let go of whatever it is you need to let go of. And for some of you, it really will just literally be a relationship. But for others, it's going to be a way of thinking. I think for most of the people, most of my little mermaids, it's going to be about a way of thinking. And then you're going to move on. There's no more swords. You know, once you get past this moment of what you need to cut out of your life, once you would identify what that is, and I think part of this Eight of Swords is going to be, you're going to have to take the blindfold off and figure out what it is that's making you feel trapped. Because I feel like, I just get the feeling that you guys don't know. A lot of you don't know what it is that's making you feel trapped. And once you can identify it and let it go, you will start to heal, and you'll be open for something that can fill up your cup. I mean, like, obviously, I always say obviously, but if you don't know, Ace of Cups is traditionally like a beginning of relationship card, but it doesn't have to be. It could be the beginning of any pursuit that really lights you up, any pursuit in your life that really fills up your cup. It could be a friendship, it could be a romantic relationship, it could be a new job even, if it's something that really fulfills you. This is going to be, I said this in the last reading, but following your bliss. Whatever it is, and since this is clarifying this, once you're kind of in this healing moment after whatever this is, once you're in this sort of healing moment, you're going to want to know what to do next and where to go next. And it's going to be about following whatever is giving you this blissful, filling up your cup kind of feeling. Whatever that is, that's the direction to go in. And once you start going towards that, you're going to have some decisions to make. You're going to have the whole world ahead of you, and you're going to have so many choices in that Two of Wands situation, but you're also going to be like really egged on by the people around you. Like everybody's going to be like, you go girl, you got this. And you're really going to be able to pull strength from others because you will have healed from whatever this nonsense is. This nonsense that you might have been in for years of your life. You're going to be healing from that. It's going to be a very complete healing process. This is just like really beautiful feeling right here. You're going to be able to heal from it. Like this sort of heartbreak moment is not going to affect you as much as other heartbreak moments in your life, whether you're breaking up with a job, a person, or just literally a way of thinking. Whatever this like breakup moment is, you're going to be able to heal from it. You're going to be able to put yourself back together. It's going to be gorgeous and wonderful, and you're going to be riding high after that, you know? Things are going to, like, all this shit feels kind of serious, but things are going to be so much less serious by the end of the summer, I feel. Let's get, like, some oracle card messages. There we go. We got dancing. Yeah, that's kind of an Ace of Cups situation right there. Dancing. Where's my Earthbound Oracle? I want to get, I'm not using that because that came out for the last pile. Okay. Unless it comes up again, and it did. Oh my god. Okay. So this is also like a secret being revealed. So I think for you, for my mermaids, the secret that's going to be revealed is kind of this moment, you know? You're going to be able to finally identify what it is that's making you feel trapped, that's been keeping you in sort of an emotional coma. And once you realize what that is, this is going to come so much faster. This moment of clarity. The Three of Swords is a Libra card, and it's a supercharged moment of clarity, because I think of the threes as a portal. So if you think of, you know, three swords making like a triangular portal, the way to step through the Three of Swords portal is you have to set something down in order to be able to go through it, in order to fit through it. There's something that you're lugging around with you, whether that be a relationship, a job, a way of thinking, all that shit that we talked about before. But you'll be able to step through it, but it just needs to reveal itself to you. And then we also have labor. This is kind of an Eight of Pentacles moment. Like, it's going to take some work. This is going to take some self-work, you know? But you have gorgeous opportunities coming up for you. You know, you have two aces here. You have like all these new ideas, new ways of thinking, but also love, bliss, happiness. Go towards those things. There's like beautiful changes happening, mostly within your mind, I feel. But yeah, embrace them. I think those new ways of thinking are really going to benefit you. So let yourself break out of like those like heavy belief structures that maybe you've been steeping in for a while. Let's get one from a Minty Oracle. So this is going to be the sort of like moral message of the summer, just sort of like from the 42 Principles of Ma'at. This is going to be sort of like where to focus your sort of ethical reality, if that makes sense. What's this one? I am open to love in various forms. So some of this is going to be like not only a change in your like belief structures and things over here, but it's also going to be about changing the way that you see love. Like for those of you that this is going to be a literal breakup, this new love that's going to come up afterwards, after this healing process or during this healing process, this new love may not look to you like love has looked in the past. It may be a different way. And it may just be also because you're in this different spiritual place now. You've been healing through whatever this is. It has been cut out of your life. So these new relationships that you're going to make, whether they be friendships, colleagues in a new job, relationships of a romantic nature, whatever it is, the new people that you're going to be surrounding yourself with, the new way of loving life, the new way of loving other people in your life, it's going to be new. It's going to be new. It's a new way of thinking. This is like the card of your whole reading, I feel. Okay, let's do one more, an Everyday Witch Oracle card, just as sort of like an ending practical advice for this pile. Cleansing body and spirit. So this is kind of like your healing moment here with the Ace of Cups and the Star. This is kind of the same as the ending message from the first pile. It's going to be about cleansing. It's going to be about like giving yourself this moment of just washing all the old shit away that you don't need anymore, you know? We don't need this anymore. We don't need it. Let's focus on all the rest of this gloriousness and wash it all away. Okay, thank you, pile 2. Thank you, my little mermaids. Let's move on to pile 3. Okay, ready for pile 3, which is the Children of Letha Tarot. So I'm gonna pull. We're gonna do 2 chunks of 4, and the cards below will clarify the cards above. Kind of stole that idea from Stormy Atlantis. I'm telling every pile that because I want to give her credit. I saw her. I cannot believe it, but I'm pretty damn sure that what I just saw was the Ace of Cups, which was in every other pile today, which is crazy. Okay. Make sure you can see everything. Yes. Why does this look different? Does this look different? I feel like the angle is different on this reading. What is happening? What is happening, you guys? I don't know. Okay. I can't even tell. Like, does it look different, or am I losing it? I don't know. Okay. No. It's hard for me to decide what wants to come out in decks with like super matte cardstock like this. But this is the Children of Letha. This is a summer deck. We're picking summer decks today. I love this deck. Just don't use it enough. Okay, here we go. Okay. So we have the Magician. Also showed up in pile 1. Wheel of Fortune. Ace of Cups. Yep, I knew I saw it. Ace of Cups in every single pile. 10 of Cups. That was in pile 1. Sorry, I know you guys probably don't care. I don't give a shit about them. I give a shit about me. Shut up. The Magician is being clarified by the 3 of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune is being clarified by the King of Pentacles. The Ace of Cups is being clarified by the Lovers. And the 10 of Cups is being clarified by the 2 of Swords. So we've got 3 major arcana cards, 1 court card, 3 cups, and 1 sword. Also 1 pentacle in the king here. Okay. So I feel like you are, I mean, I don't see a single like warning sign here unless you've been a shitty person, and in that case when the karmic wheel smacks you, it's not going to be cute. But for most, if not all of the people watching this, that's not the case. Like, it's going to be, like, if we're looking at just this top row here without the clarifiers, what we have is a person that's on top of their shit, that's getting stuff done, that is being all magical, honing their craft, and what they're putting out into the universe is coming back to them. And just, like, literally here we see the beginning of a beautiful love, and because the Ace of Cups is clarified by the Lovers, I'm going to take it literally that you're going to be starting a new relationship, a soulmate type relationship, and that is going to result in some harmonious shit, and it could even result in an actual family by the end of the summer. There's going to be a choice involved in that. Like, I think that this is kind of just letting me know that there are several different paths for those of y'all that are going to be starting a new partnership. I mean, a new partnership can always be, and I've been saying this in every single pile since we've gotten the Ace of Cups in every single pile, a new relationship could be new job, new best friend, new actual, like, romantic relationship. And I think that that is the case with more of you that chose this pile than with the others. But we also have that here. I feel like you're just like, it's just coming up all gravy for you because I feel like this is almost a job related thing. Like this is you working really harmoniously at your craft with your colleagues. I almost think that there are people that are helping you realize a creative goal right now, and you guys are working really well together, is the feeling I'm getting from this. But for some of you, that's not the case, and it's just that you are getting a lot of creative things done, and you've got really great friendships in your life as well, and you're just becoming closer to them. You know, the cycles, like the karmic wheel, the cycles that are coming back for you, the things that you put out there that are finally going to be coming back are related to, you know, you getting everything that you wanted finally, you finally making some money, because this creative output that you're doing here is actually finally getting to a point where it can start rewarding you. And once you're kind of basking in that beautiful, like making some coin moments, that's when you're gonna start a new fucking relationship. Like, what's up with you guys? Why is everything going great for you? I hate your guts. I'm just kidding. I do not hate your guts at all. Let's do some oracle cards. I feel like I don't even have anything to say. I mean, the only possible thing is that there's gonna be a moment where, like, maybe you're going to get proposed to, or maybe your person is going to be asking you whether or not you want kids, or asking you where you want to live. There might be like a big decision to make to move towards this moment of 10 of Cups, to this moment of pure, you know, harmonious bliss, whether that be through a family, a relationship, just a really great home life situation with roommates, whatever this looks like to you, this 10 of Cups super harmonious moment, like just being at home with the people, with the community around you. There's going to be a decision to make surrounding that. And whenever you do get to that point, that's really like the only part of this whole summer that you might have a challenging moment where you just kind of have to make a decision. Just make sure that you are making the decision that you want to make, that you're not being too swayed by what the other people in your community and your family and your relationship, whatever, around you want. Like, if this is literally a situation where you could be faced with, should we have a kid? Should we get pregnant? Make sure that the decision that is being made is exactly what you want. Follow your own intuition. If you don't want a kid, don't have a kid. If you don't want to move to that place that your person wants to move to, don't do it. Just make sure that you're following your own intuition in whatever that moment is. And I don't really think, like, those are big, serious things that I just mentioned as examples. Like, as I was saying them, I'm like, I don't think it's going to be that dramatic, though. I think for the most part, you and your person are going to agree on what you want out of your life trajectory, but you're going to have like a little moment where you're going to maybe like even adopting a pet or something. You're going to be on the verge of adopting a pet, and you can't decide between these two different ones that you want or something. And there's just going to be a moment where make sure you take a few breaths, because you're going to be so swept up in like the beauty of this situation and how great everything's been going that you might make a decision more for the benefit of whoever you're making the decision with. Does that make sense? Like, for example, my Michael, he tends to, I am so sure about what I want, like the house that we bought, the animals that we adopt. I'm always so sure about what I want that I'm always very like, I make sure, like, do you really want this too? But he tends to go with what I want and sometimes regrets that later. So if you resonate with that, or if you end up being in a partnership with someone like that, make sure that you give them the time that they need to make the decision that they need to make, or make sure that you're giving yourself the time that you need, even if the other person's like, yep, we need to do this, and they're not meaning to, but they're kind of steamrolling you even though they don't mean to. That's really the only warning I see in this whole thing. Let's pull some other cards though, shall we? This is from the Oneromancy. So this could be related to your dreams. Not always, because I tend to use this as more of a general oracle deck, but it could also relate to dreams that you're having, because Oneromancy is divination through dreams. And you got 2 of those. Healing and missed opportunities. I feel like this is kind of going to be related to dreams. And I didn't say that in any of these piles. So I think that these particular cards do, for you personally, relate to dreams more so than with the other piles. I think there's going to be a lot of healing going on in your life just with all of this stuff. The Ace of Cups is about, one of the key words for me personally for the Ace of Cups is healing. So I think that you're going to be in a really healing place this summer. And like everything is set up to be so beautiful for you this summer that you're going to be having dreams about missing out. But for some of you, you're going to be having dreams about missing out, but you're just going to have to remind yourself that you're not missing anything, that everything is beautiful, everything is gravy, everything is awesome. For some of you that like you don't feel like everything is awesome, this doesn't feel like it's representing your situation this summer. For those of you that have been thinking that this whole time, for some of you, pick a different pile. This one may not be for you. For others of you, like what you're doing is you're focusing on the negative. For some of you, you're focusing on the negative, which is leading you in real life to be missing these opportunities, these Ace of Cups opportunities, these Wheel of Fortune opportunities, these Magician opportunities. All these opportunities around you, you might literally be missing them. If this doesn't resemble your life, and you don't think that's because you need to pick another pile, follow your intuition on that. But if this reading is not you feel like it's not representing your life, it might be that you are turning away from these Ace of Cups moments, these opportunities for healing. So that is something to keep in mind. But for most of you, I think you're going to be having dreams about missing opportunities. Like those types of dreams where you're like, you're late the whole time, you're not making it, you're not getting, like literally, you're not getting on the bus, you're not making it to your test on time, like all of that kind of shit. Let's get some messages from Earthbound Oracle. And I kind of want them to kind of, oh, we got 2 there, to sort of clarify these. So I want these 2 to clarify the healing and this one to clarify the missed opportunities. Resistance. Yeah. So for some of you, you're going to be resisting all of this gloriousness. You're like, no. Ace of Cups, 10 of Cups, Lovers, Wheel of Fortune, Magician, King of Pentacles, 3 of... Like, all of this is amazingness. And you're like sitting here reacting to me right now like, no, that's not going to be my life. That's not going to be my life. You're getting it completely wrong. It's not going to be that beautiful. Why are you resisting? Why are you saying no to these opportunities of healing? Intuition and Soul are your cards to clarify this healing situation right here. So again, this is going to be about following your intuition. I want to say, like, listen to me right now. I'm your guide of intuition right now, and I'm telling you it's all gravy. So believe me when I say it's all gravy. But this is also, like, anytime I see this soul card, this just reminds me, like, follow the light, follow what makes you happy, follow your own personal bliss, what fills up your cup. Like, yeah, all this stuff is gonna show up for you, but these are only possibilities. These are only doorways. These are only opportunities, literally. That's what these are. So are you gonna follow them? Are you gonna follow what makes you happy? Or are you gonna miss it? Don't miss it. Go towards what lights you up. Allow that healing to happen. Fuck yeah. River otter. Enjoy life. God damn it. You know, let yourself like do things that make you happy. Follow. That's really the warning just came in the oracle cards, and it's about like you resisting letting yourself just be happy, letting yourself enjoy life. It's like once you start having fun, you start overthinking it or something. All of the shit is here for you. Just make sure that you're trusting your own intuition. That's these two situations here. And allow the healing to happen. Because it can happen. It can and it will. It's coming. So let's get a final message from the Everyday Witch Oracle. I feel like I want to riffle shuffle this one. I'm always afraid I'm going to make that candle go out, but I haven't done it yet. Okay, there we go. So this is sort of your practical advice, something that you can actually bring in right now. Meditation for peace and serenity. They've been like all water cards, all three of these piles whenever I pull one of these. So yeah, there's going to be some moments of self-reflection with the intuition, with the Two of Swords, with this meditation for peace and serenity. Like, just make sure that you're not letting all of this gorgeousness pass you by. Meditation for peace and serenity. I feel like you're going to be surrounded by all the good things, but unless you take a second, and you know, the Two of Swords is really a meditation card too. In Thoth decks, the key word on the Two of Swords is peace. You're gonna have to really reflect a little bit to recognize all this beauty around you. Because I feel like you're gonna not necessarily see it for what it is unless you specifically focus on it, if that makes sense. That's really the only warning here is, you know, take some time to really like recognize the gorgeousness that's happening. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really liked doing this. I like doing pick a pile readings. I know like I've just like, as far as like views on my channel, people don't seem to like them that much. So maybe I'm not the best at them, but I will keep trying, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Check out my information below. I have a podcast. I just got it put on Spotify. So it is a Buffy recap podcast, and I will be recapping some movies this summer, because I take a break from the Buffy project during the summer. And I have a weekly radio show. I have information for where you can get readings down below and all that fun stuff. So thank you guys for watching. You all are the best. And I think it's snack time because my stomach is growling. I hope you guys couldn't hear it. Bye.